I love getting things from Chaosium. Not only does the cheerful green dragon just kind of make my day when I see it in the mail, but Chaosium is both a large enough company to produce awesome material and a small enough company to still write your name on it by hand. And I just really like that experience. Now, what did I order? What I ordered was a licensed Chaosium product, not an actual Chaosium product, and it's one that I've talked about briefly before, in that I've had the PDFs for a while as I was a Kickstarter backer. But let's take a look inside to see what it is that I'm talking about. The package arrived a week early and is not beaten up like most of my parcels seem to be. It's well taped and secure, the corners are still square, it's very solid, so I have a good feeling about the condition of the books, and I've never had a problem with a Chaosium shipment before. But anyway, like I said, let's open it up and see what they look like. Securely held in place by the box itself with no damage that I can discern yet is the special project by Modifius, licensed Call of Cthulhu project, also usable with Savage Worlds if you are so inclined, is of course the, not so satisfyingly named, but very, very well put together Achtung, Cthulhu. This is the Investigator's Guide with its suggestive cover, and underneath it the Keeper's Guide to the Secret War with its very overt and explicit cover. Now, I was initially put off by the name, I'll be honest. It's not exactly the approach that I want to take to telling or being a part of mythos stories in wartime. But the name and the contents, these are not representative of each other. The contents are exactly what classical Call of Cthulhu keepers would be looking for running games toward the end of the 30s into the 40s. Okay, let's take a look inside. I've mentioned before that my preference of the two World War II approaches to playing Call of Cthulhu, that my preferences lay on the side of World War Cthulhu. I liked how that product handles everything, and it's the way I would have done it myself, which is not to say that I won't get a lot of mileage out of these games. Just letting you know from the beginning that that's the direction that my preferences, my biases lie. So if anything I say about these particular books strikes you as, maybe he doesn't really enjoy these, that's letting you know why. I do really enjoy these. I am very impressed by these. Some parts of it stretch me in areas as a keeper that I'm either not used to or prefer not to go in. Let's put it that way. For others, people who like a pulpier style of play, this may be right up your alley. Now, it doesn't have to be played as pulp. Not at all, but as you can see, there are elements or aspects about how the game is put together which can send your mind in that direction. A lot of fun can be had going in that direction. Inside the covers we find a very colorful operational map. Another look at the cover. The book is just under 300 pages, and I found it to be extremely well organized as I was going through the PDF. And I like the subtle use of color, the attempt to make it look like documents. It just, with the glossy pages, it's just a really, really nice product. But again, as we see, the pulp elements. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But for either Savage Worlds or Call of Cthulhu play, and of course there are other versions of the game for PDQ and one coming now, or just out now for Fate, if that's your interest. There are a lot of ways to get access to this very cool background material for running mythos investigations or resistance during the Second World War. And it's very impressive, its use of different typefaces, this scrapbook approach, the use of photographs, and art. very, very satisfying, and I'm very, very glad that I bought it in print as well as in PDF. And you can hear that the pages are, it's never been opened. I kind of enjoy that. Very glossy, very magazine-like feel to the pages. They do feel a little thin, not weak, just thin. And it keeps the book down to a manageable size. Color comes out very, very nicely. The detail is probably not visible in the camera. All right. That's the Keeper's book. It has a very soft feel, not a glossy or slick feel. It has an older style hardback texture to it, which I'm very much enjoying. Okay. Move this off to the side and bring in the Investigator's Guide to the Secret War. Right. It's one of my favorite covers. I like how ready she is to deal with this shadow. Alright, so again, the map on the inner cover. Now, this book is just under 150 pages and deals with, being an investigator. Okay? Notes like historical accuracy versus playability. If you're just getting into genre or historical-based games, these notes are really helpful, I feel, both for players and for game masters. It's not always easy to set something in an historical period, more so even than in a purely fictional environment like a fantasy world, where your footing with the other people playing the game can be equal. We can both buy the same source books, read them, and understand them in the same way, but our knowledge of history may not be so cleanly or systematically presented as it might be in a game book. And so the advice provided will really help a group approach playing in this way, taking a mixture of real history and fictional history into their own hands and making their own game history. So, space well used. It's just a gorgeous book all the way through. Alright, so this is it. This is your sneak peek inside Achtung, Cthulhu, the Investigator's Guide and the Keeper's Guide. Use them at your peril.